This is an urgent appeal from the Disasters Emergency Committee. Hundreds of thousands of people have fled their homes to escape conflict in Ukraine, leaving jobs, belongings and loved ones behind. They need shelter, food and water. You can help. To donate online, search DEC or text radio to 70150 to give £10. Thank you.
Streaming 24/7, this is Brum Radio.
Thank you for downloading this Brum Radio podcast. For more podcasts, visit brumradio.com.
I'm Dave Massey. I'm joined on the telephone by Jenny Gayner, who is coming to Birmingham with Singin In The Rain at the Birmingham Hippodrome from the 6th to the 11th of June. Good afternoon, Jenny. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm really well. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for taking the time today to chat to us about this production. Where in the world do we find you today?
You find me in Ireland.
Fantastic.
And that's my terrible Irish accent, which
okay.
is not on my CV.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Everyone will be like, sorry, was that Irish? Yeah, I'm in Dublin. So I arrived yesterday and
Yes.
I'm getting to the theatre later on this afternoon to start the technical and open the show in Dublin tonight.
So it's a Tuesday start for you as you're doing this one.
Tuesday start here, and so the matinee days slightly change, but it's either a Monday to a Saturday or a Tuesday to a Saturday with, and then they just shift the matinees around. So it just gives the crew a little bit more time to get the whole set all the way across to wherever we are in the world.
Brilliant. And how does it feel to be coming to the Birmingham Hippodrome stage for this? Have you been on that stage recently? Is it a stage that you've returned to before?
Well, I love the Birmingham Hippodrome. I've been very lucky to perform there quite a few times in my career, I think. But the last time was pre-pandemic.
Yes.
And it was with Annie, the musical.
Oh, yes.
I played Lily St. Regis. And I've got very fond memories of Birmingham. I love it. So as soon as when I scan the tour schedule and I see there's certain places that I'd love to revisit, I was very thrilled to see that it was back on the list.
That's brilliant. And without making you pick a place, do you have a place apart from Birmingham that is maybe your home theatre or a theatre that you first went to that you get to perform in?
Well, I think for any actor, your home theatre is always very special to you. And just mentioning Annie there, I'm an Essex girl. Fantastic. And my local theatre to me is the Cliffs Pavilion. And I hadn't set foot on the Cliffs Pavilion stage for 30 years.
Wow.
And until I played Lily St. Regis in the professional production of Annie. And 30 years ago, I played Annie in an amateur production there. So the Cliffs Pavilion is it's a very special place for me because it's home, and I did it. It's where I think the Cliffs Pavilion in Southend and the Palace Theatre in Westcliff, very close to each other, are very special to me because it's where I started as a kid, really.
When I think of Singin In The Rain itself, I think of it being quite technical in terms of the choreography. They always feels like there's a lot of accessories, props. That's the word. It always feels
that's the one.
That's the word. It always feels like there's a lot of props on stage. Is that the case with this tour?
Well, I think in a number like Make 'Em Laugh, which is so cleverly choreographed, there are a lot of props which add to the number. You've got ladders and walls and hats and canes and costume rails and costumes and frames and all sorts, which really add to the number. But then you've got a number like Broadway Melody, which is an incredible ensemble number with, I think, maybe just one prop in it, which is a case with a pair of shoes in, and you don't need anything because the choreography, which is by Andrew Wright, it just does its job. It's fantastic. So there are props, a lot of props in some numbers and none in others. So there you go.
Did you first see Singin In The Rain before you performed in it? Was it audition process the first time that you came to it? Do you think that was the case?
No, I knew Singin In The Rain from watching the MGM movie years ago, and obviously I loved it. And then I was lucky enough to actually audition and play the role of Lina Lamont in a different production just for 5 weeks about 7 years ago. Wow. And I absolutely fell in love with the character. So as soon as I saw that this production was happening, I contacted the powers that be and asked for if they would see me for the role and consider me for the role, which was, a bit of a gamble because sometimes they won't necessarily want someone who's played the role before. But I don't know. She's in my bones. I love comedy, and she's definitely gets the audience laughing, whether she means to or not.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's one of those sort of, for me, I feel like it's a classic Hollywood golden age production.
Yes.
And then I realised that when I was looking at the details of it, it wasn't premiered until the 1980s as a stage production, with Tommy Steele being the sort of main sort of person that was in the promo.
Yeah, Tommy played Don. Yeah, that's the production that I was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. I think it maybe sat dormant and didn't actually get on stage for a good few years after the film actually came out. But aren't we lucky that it is now out and about, especially this production, because it's just magical. It is magical. If you want to have a good time, leave the theatre feeling buoyant and happy and forgetting life's troubles, and if you're in the front couple of rows you might even get a little bit wet.
Yes.
This is the show to come and see. It's just magical. It's romantic and funny, and it's just wonderful.
We wore Rain Max when we went to see a student experience production of it, just to make sure that we didn't get wet. We were quite close to the front. But at the theatre, one of the things that happens at the theatre is you do get sometimes soaked at the theatre, particularly at Panto as well. So I'm quite used to being slightly drowned at the theatre.
Well, I think it's just the first couple of rows.
Yes.
We call them the splash seats.
Splash seats.
And it's only a sprinkling, but every in the finale we might just, when we wave and say goodbye, we might just aim at a few people.
The ones that have been on their phones maybe during the performance.
Oh, luckily we haven't had that. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, my pet hate. But it is funny though, because when the lights go out, after we've done our bows of finales, you just see some Apple Watches. It's like, oh, everyone's got Apple Watches. But that's fine. Just please don't go on your phones. Don't go on your phones.
Oh, it's so funny when they do that as well, because I wonder how much you can hear from what's going on in the audience when you're on stage. And usually I'm sort of 10 rows back from the front, which is a nice place to be in, but I still think that there's certain shows where the audience is a bit more naughty behaved.
What you mean
in terms of them
what
being,
do you mean, actually, like,
if they're being disruptive or anything like that in the audience?
Yeah, we can hear it.
You can
hear it, and it's it's off-putting, and it's rude to us.
Absolutely.
And it's rude to the fellow audience members. If you've come to see a show, come and see a show. Turn off your your gadgets.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some other shows, people sometimes have a bit too much to drink, and there's been fights in the audience and things, and it's disruptive, and it's not good. People have come to have a good time, and it's not cheap to come to the theatre.
No.
So I just think people need to respect each other and be kind to each other.
This production was slated to be in Birmingham during the pandemic. Were you already down to be in the cast at that point, and then did you have to wait the 2 years yourself? Or,
yes, you've got the original cast who were, so we've been waiting in the wings, to coin a phrase, for the whole pandemic to calm down. It was a devastating time, very worrying.
Yes.
Obviously for people's health firstly, but then when the career you love and you've trained to do is just there is no way you can do it, and there's no way, you don't know if it's coming back.
Absolutely.
I personally felt like I'd lost my identity. I didn't get any help from the government.
Yes.
And I became a labourer and a painter and a decorator. And it's hard, people say, you're so good at this, you should start a business, but it's like, but this isn't where my heart is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stage. So we were waiting in the wings with bated breath, waiting for it all to come back, and thank goodness it has, because especially this production is, as I've said before, it's just a dream, feel good, incredible show with an incredible orchestra, incredible crew. We couldn't put the show on without them, incredible creative team, and the cast are top notch.
Fantastic.
And I might be biased, but we seem to be getting the good reviews. So
Brilliant.
I think I'm speaking right.
Well, I'm very excited to be coming to see this when it's at Birmingham Hippodrome. It just seems like such an uplifting show anyway, and I think that's absolutely wonderful.
It's what we need, isn't it?
Yes.
We need fun and frivolity and some romance and comedy and feel-good factor, and that's what this show is.
Jenny, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us today about this.
Oh, you're welcome. I really hope you enjoy it, and yeah, bring your cagoule if you're in the front row.
Absolutely. You can see Singin In The Rain from Monday the 6th of June to Saturday the 11th of June at Birmingham Hippodrome, and then it's touring until the 20th of August. You can check out birminghamhippodrome.com for the details and click on the what's on there, or you can see singinintherain.show.com and click on UK tour for that as well. Jenny, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us about this today.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this Brum Radio podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on your podcast app.